Podcast City Network.
Greetings, Earthlings, and welcome to another immaculate episode of Urban Nerd Weekly. Today is Friday, June the 5th, and it's episode 9 of Season 6. Thanks for tuning in and nerding out with us today, you guys. On today's Nerd News Update, we're going to definitely be talking about the George Floyd Memorial. Plus, in today's topic, we're going to talk about a lot of the other things surrounding the incidents with George Floyd and some of the other unjustified cases in the last couple of years. Sky Jackson from Disney Channel's Jessie is exposing racists on Twitter. 13 Reasons Why is on its fourth and final season. And we also going to be talking about viral comic king Bach and SpaceX and NASA. Rona Watch is also in effect today, so tune in, nerd out, to today's episode of Urban Nerd.
Hey, it's your boy Spaceship, man. I got a new podcast out I want y'all to subscribe to, bro. It's called Urban Nerd Weekly, available on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Google Play Music. My
What's happening, guys? Welcome back to yet another episode of Urban Nerd Weekly. I don't know why I did that, but I'm glad you guys tuned in and to hear me do that goofy ass shit. Anyway, got a great show in store for you guys. Today is actually Gun Violence Awareness Day, which is kind of like not funny ironic, but timing wise ironic, given all the shit that's been going on in America the past beginning of all of 2020. But yeah, so Gun Violence Awareness Day is a thing that's been kind of instituted to kind of bring awareness to some of the things that happen with gun violence around the country and around the world. A lot of people do die from gun violence. Now, I can't 100% say that I am 100% against gun violence. I can almost assure you I'm against like 98% of gun violence incidents where someone was injured or their life was taken by a gun. However, Marco Polo didn't invent these shits for a reason. There are ne'er-do-wells and fuck niggas all around the world. And sometimes, no, scratch that, almost every time, if you dealing with a true fuck nigga or ne'er-do-well or terrorist or whatever you want to call them, you know like I know the only way to get rid of them is 100% just take them out. Can't just be letting fuck niggas run wild and be living life and shit, because that's how they wreak havoc on the rest of us. Fuck niggas is what the devil has used from the beginning of time to corrupt mankind. A fuck nigga was what got into the snake and told Eve to bite that fruit. A fuck nigga what made Cain kill his brother Abel. A fuck nigga is the fuck niggas of the world have been dragging us down from the beginning of time. The fact that we didn't weed them out is why we are where we are right now. However, I just got so slick biblical, but it's not really biblical, because anybody that reads the Bible would just shit on everything I just said. But yet another tangent that we are known to get off on the show that we know is Urban Nerd Weekly. Quick reminder of everybody about the donate button on our SoundCloud page. If you listen to us on SoundCloud, or if you're just interested in maybe donating, you guys can check out the SoundCloud page at soundcloud.com/Urban Nerd Weekly. There we have a donate button for any and all donations will help. You know what I'm saying? We, like most content creators are on the internet, basically just finding really, really creative ways to beg for change. That's what most internet commerce is, right? Think about everything that y'all see online. If somebody just stood in front of you and just started doing that shit and kind of asked you for a little bit of money, no matter what it is, that's essentially like a homeless person. Oh, let me wash your windows right quick before you can say nah, and then try to charge you for it afterwards. Think about it. All right, so think about how many rappers there are with mixtapes in this city right now. Could you imagine if there was no internet and all the motherfuckers just hopped in front of you and just started trying to spit the hottest verses of their motherfucking life to get you to try to get a free copy of their mixtape or some shit, because it's the only way they thought they could get famous? Or worse, what if there was no internet and all the chicks that did OnlyFans, there wasn't enough strip clubs to hold them all, so you just had bitches dropping out fucking tops of ceilings of buildings and shit, just twerking and shit, hoping you'll give them $3.99 a month to see something. No, don't fucking start twerking on me in the middle of motherfucking Target. And well, I mean, okay, so let me be honest. Okay, I'm a family man now. So now, because I'm a family man now you can't just start twerking on me in the middle of Target, because it don't look right. Plus, I'm not gonna give you $3.99 a month. First of all, because in this hypothetical scenario, ain't no internet. So that means I gotta find your fucking homeless twerking ass and give you $3.99 a month. Fuck that. That analogy fell apart. However, the real life applications is kind of hilarious, because I just kind of discovered that everybody who's on the internet is essentially homeless people begging for change. But instead, we showing you all the cool shit we know how to do before you realize that we don't have shit. However, please, anything helps. $1, $2, whatever you need. I mean, whatever you got and are willing to give. All the people here at Urban Nerd Weekly are graciously willing to accept. Moving right along, last quick announcement before we get the show all the way started. Baby Nerd is 2 months old today. If you guys are just now joining the Earthlings gang family, just kind of getting into Urban Nerd Weekly, beginning of the season, I took quite a bit of time off. Actually, I ended last season, because normally what happens in between seasons is we do like 2 weeks of revamp time where I research some stuff and try to make little tweaks and improvements to the show, and then 2 weeks goes by and we start a new season right on back up again. That's how we've been kind of doing it for some time. However, during the show's most recent hiatus, all the faithful Urban Nerd Weekly listeners know that around August of last year, which is my birthday-ish time, which was around the middle of season 4, it might have been the end of season 4, I don't know, beginning of season 4, end of season 3, something like that, I announced to the world that I had quite a helping hand in conceiving a little baby nerdlet, and that was on the way. And then as of April the 10th, that little nerd has made his way into the world. And as of right now, that little nerd is 2 months old. So happy 2 months old, baby nerd. He was actually just in the studio with me right before the beginning of this recording session. Scratch that. He was actually doing all of the recording for a while, because he's, trying to get his cry on. I even got a little footage of him, because you got to start him early in the booth, guys. If you want to build champions, men, and this is real word to the dads, if you want to build fucking champions, you start from day one. You want your son to toss that pigskin? Let him go to sleep with one every. A clean one that is sanitized and corona free, of course. But make sure that pig died for a reason. That baby hooks that ball every single day. All right, let's go and get into things. First things first, of course, I'd like to remind everybody to subscribe to Urban Nerd Weekly on any and all podcasting platforms choice. Even if you use 2, go ahead and subscribe. That's on both of them. I don't give a damn. However, just make sure you do so if you haven't already, so we can raise the show up in the ranks, and make sure you like, comment, and subscribe and all. I mean, I said subscribe already. Make sure you like, comment. I'm still like reeling. Like, it's so weird creating different kinds of content and shit, because that whole subscribe, comment thing is like, what I be seeing a lot of times on my YouTube page and shit, right? So now I'm like in here doing the podcast, and it's like my mind's starting. It's almost like, because of the pandemic, I've gotten a little bit to experience what it's like to be a full-time content creator, which is pretty cool. It's gonna suck having to go back to work and then trying to balance this all out until my life goes the way I would like for it to go. However, new dad gotta do what he gotta do. Gotta get this paper, gotta get this cheddar cheese money. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm sure I'll be going back to some day job soon. Just found out that the previous job I had will not be opening because of the hit that they took mid the pandemic, which isn't a huge surprise, but true hustlers got to keep it moving. So, like I said, make sure you guys subscribe to the show, tell a friend, and if you're not already, also make sure you follow us on social media, especially on the big 3, that being Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. You can find us at Urban Nerd Weekly. That's right, Urban Nerd Weekly, spelled correctly, no spaces, no dashes. You can find us there. Make sure you guys drop us a line, send us a message, like some shit. You can even fucking post some shit on there. It's all good, man. We love everybody. So make sure y'all follow us on there and interact with us, man. As a matter of fact, if we want to get more specific with us, you could definitely catch my General of Earthlings game, Nano Kitty Cat, on Twitter and Instagram at Nano_Kitty_Cat. I repeat, at Nano_Kitty_Cat. Everything is spelled correctly. Underscores, not dashes, of course. And y'all can find her on Facebook also at Kitty Cat Nano 1. That is her official Facebook page where she will be dropping a lot of her own solo content that I'll tell you guys about later on in the show. But y'all can make sure y'all check her there. Can't forget about me, myself, and I. That would be Space Was Here. You can catch me at Space Was Here. I repeat, at Space Was Here. SPAYCEWUZHERE. And you can definitely find me on the big three, that being Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, as well as a lot of the other websites, Triller, TikTok. You know what I'm saying? I still got Vine page that don't even make new shit anymore. Still got MySpace. Pretty much any social media platform, y'all can find me at Space Was Here, except Snapchat. If you're looking for me on Snapchat, you have to hit A1 space. Of course, y'all know how I spell space, SPAYCE. But yeah, man, if you're on the snaps and you're trying to holler at your boy, that's how you find me. But anywhere else, I've been Space Was Here for quite a few years, a couple of years now. Yeah. So I know because I used to go by a different name, so that's why I always repeat my name so many times so people can remember. Like, the people that have been following me know the new name. And anybody that's just met me, hi, my name is Space. But yeah, moving right on along. In today's digital download, in the book section, we got A Song of Race and Ruin by Roseanne A. Brown. We got Igniting Darkness by Robin LaFavors. In the movie section, dropping today, we got Shepherd, The Story of a Jewish Dog, available on video on demand. In the music section, came out on July 3rd, that was Run the Jewels. And if y'all don't know, that's the group that Killer Mike is a part of. Run the Jewels with their latest project called RTJ4, which I can only assume stands for Run the Jewels 4. I'm assuming all their projects have been self-titled, so that's how we ended up there. Dropping today also, we got Paul Wall and Lil Kiki with Slab Talk, and we got Flatbush Zombies with Now More Than Ever by Flatbush Zombies. Came out today. Make sure y'all check that out on all your mixtape streaming platforms. I had to stop and think about the word streaming because I was about to say mixtape downloads, but motherfuckers don't download shit no more. Like, what the fuck is this? Like, most people my age talk about how shit was when they was like a little kid, or like, when they became a teenager. I'm still tripping off just how much shit has changed since I was like 21, and that was only like 8 years ago. That's not that long to need to be wondering that kind of shit. Anyway, in the comedy section of today's digital download, dropped on May 29th, we got Kenny Sebastian with The Most Interesting Man in the Room, available on Netflix. And of course, today we got Rami Youssef with Feeling, and that is running on HBO, and I'm guessing it's probably on HBO Plus if you want to like stream it directly or whatever. In the video game section, we got quite a few on today's video game section. Dropped on June the 1st, we got Little Nightmares available on the Stadia platform. We got Spirit Oath available on PC, and Valorant available on PC, and both of those titles were available on the 2nd. On the 3rd, we got Sea of Thieves, and that is available on PC. Also in the video game section, yesterday, hit the microphone and shit. All right, great move, Rook. Fucking yeah, spent your money for no reason. Oh no, I'm just playing. All right, so we got Castle Kong on PC. We got Pro Cycling Manager 2020 on PC, and we also have Tour de France 2020 available on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. And all those titles just dropped yesterday. And of course, today we got 51 worldwide games available on Switch. We got Command and Conquer the Remastered Collection available on PC, and we have The Outer Worlds available on Switch. Take a little second to remind you guys about some of our content that we have also floating out around the web. I'm going to talk more about this particular piece of content a little bit later on in the show because it's a new idea that I came up with, and in light of all of the unjustified murders. And yeah, I was trying to find a prettier way to say it, but these are fucking murders. All right, a lot of unanswered questions, a lot of recent names. Like ever since we've started this whole Black Lives Movement, say they name movement been going on since pretty much Trayvon Martin. I think I want to do what we're going to call an Urban Nerd Tributes, and that is a bonus episode of the podcast in which we explore the different cases of these unjustified things. Like, we'll start with Trayvon Martin, and then at some point we'll make our way to cases like Eric Garner and Kendrick Johnson from Valdosta, and you know what I'm saying, Kanika Jenkins, and even of course, you know, we'll make our way forward here to where we with the George Floyd situation and Ahmaud Arbery. There's so many new things that are coming out about a lot of these cases, and huge fucking shouts out to my motherfucking is she the mayor? Shout out to Keisha Lansbottom. That let y'all know how fucking far I don't even be paying attention to this shit. But shout out to Keisha Lansbottoms, man. She's definitely been holding it down for the real Atlanta. I repeat, Keisha Lansbottom. It's an official Urban Nerd Weekly statement. Keisha Lansbottoms has been holding it down for the real Atlanta. So, you know, I don't even talk about that many politicians that I like, but Keisha Lansbottoms is definitely doing the damn thing during her tenure in her position right now, and big shouts out to that. But yeah, so, you know, and of course, and people like Breonna Taylor, like, it's so many names that we're going to, that is, and, you know, I said I was thinking about it, that's what we're going to do. We're going to do Urban Nerd tributes to each one of these names, give them their own bonus episode. Make sure you guys tune in and nerd out, man. It's going to be a real special occasion. It's going to be coming on the same feed as all the regular Urban Nerd Weekly episodes. And I don't know, I'm thinking I might even add a little video, you know, a little visuals to it, and I'll put up versions of it on YouTube as well if you guys, you know, really digging it, want to check it out, and kind of want to have some cool shit to go along with it. So just, you know, we'll develop, but it's definitely without question going to be bonus episodes of Urban Nerd Weekly, specifically as tributes to some of these people, because, you know, their story, I don't want it to ever be silenced. People, like, there should be something, and you know what I'm saying, like, we are Urban Nerd Weekly. Like, don't ever get it twisted. There is just as much urban in this show as there is nerd. So the events and situations that touch the community that I myself and the rest of my loosely gathered team are a part of, you know, this definitely hits home. So yeah, man, be sure y'all guys looking out for that. As far as me, myself, personally go, I got a YouTube comedy special coming out on the way. It's called, With Everything That's Going On, since that is the theme of fucking 2020. Dropping that shit on YouTube real soon, so make sure you guys check that out. I got more comedy music on the way too. I'm working on like a project, but I don't know how it's gonna be some funny songs that y'all gonna be seeing, but I don't know if we're gonna put a whole thing together, if I'm just gonna, you know, let some loosies fly this year. I think I put a lot of pressure on myself before trying to make Snacking Off a thing, and then I never got to finish it the way I did. And then now we got the Snack Pack out, which if you guys haven't checked that out, make sure you do check it out, because I was very proud of that project. A lot of people telling me that the songs on there are like funnier than I'm even realizing. So if you haven't already, make sure you check out the Snack Pack and be ready for some more comedy songs on the way, whether it be original songs, some parodies, or some goofy ass freestyles, man. Y'all know I always got y'all coming. For my girl Nano Kitty Cat, make sure y'all check out her Storytime series on her official Facebook page. It's like, it goes like this, man. She posts these crazy ass videos up, and then there's this whole like story behind it. And it's, first of all, it's a crazy ass video, right? So you're ready for the explanation, but then the explanation behind the video is even fucking more insane than watching the video itself. So you gotta really be tuned in to the shit she got going on. Nano Kitty Cat has this crazy sense of humor. That's why I brought her part of the team. And y'all are gonna be dead with laughter. And you guys can also check out her Urban Nerd Weekly segment on the Urban Nerd Weekly Facebook page called Kitty's Corner, where she's gonna be giving some thoughts, views, and opinions on some real hard-hitting issues that have been affecting the urban community as well as the nerd community. So make sure you guys check that out real soon. Now we're gonna be sliding on over into today's next segment, in which we talk nerd money. All right, guys. So let's talk cheese for a minute. All right. So on today's Nerd Money segment, we're gonna be talking about a couple of ways that you can either take advantage of the current or future, or depending on how, because all this shit, you'd be surprised how much shit that has to do with money is based off the opinions of a lot of fucking people. But in the state of the economy right now, depending on how you look at it, we are either currently in a recession or we're about to be rolling into a recession. Either way it goes, the world is in a state where it rarely is, and despite how much all of this sucks, it's inconvenient and makes all of our lives so much more difficult than it needs to be. There are some ways to at least financially capitalize off of the situation. First of all, you got to understand that right now, or in the point where there is a recession, when things are like this, you kind of assume shit is going to go up, right? Like the price of shit. And some things, they are going to go up because they increase in value. And some things are staples, right? And meaning they stay, like they're going to always be about more or less the same amount of demand on those items. Like, hygiene products, soap, bread, milk, shit like that. Like people are going to pretty much need those things at the same rates, no matter what the economy is doing. So it's always good to have some type of investment in those things. Like, those are the basic shit that you can always put a little money behind and it'll pretty much always do okay. There are certain things like, one of the oldest rules when it comes to buying and selling is buy low, sell high. Well, guess what? During times like this is when things cost the least. There's, there's a lot of foreclosures right now. There's a lot of people, during economic crisis, a lot of people ended up breaking up, getting divorced. You got households splitting up and all of that, handling all those assets and divorce and all that stuff. That's a money opportunity for a lot of people to hop in and try to take advantage. You can also take stock of the fact that there are certain things like right now with it being a pandemic, stuff like alcohol, anything, hand soap, anything hygiene wise and stuff that's gonna have some contributing factor to helping people stay healthy or avoid getting sick, then those things are going to be increasing in value over time. Because look at what happens. You go to the store, you go there, you don't see any fucking paper towels, you don't see any toilet tissue, no alcohol, no hand soap. Vitamins are fully fucking stocked, but that's a whole different conversation for a different day. And people are pretty much going out and buying the stuff they think, clothes detergent. And then other things get affected eventually too, because now that you're in the house all day, people are buying more food. So you kind of see where I'm going. Like, you pay attention to the needs, because the market is all about supply and demand, right? So the demand of certain things is going to go up while the demand of other things is going to go down. The price of property right now is probably low as shit because nobody's really thinking about buying property. Everybody's trying to stay where they at right now. A lot of people aren't trying to move, and especially since, with the whole financial aspect of it, a lot of people aren't spending tons of money on shit that, cost tons of money. I don't know any other way to put that, and that's another tip right there. Like, that's another tip to power your way through the situation that we in is don't make any big purchases. You know what I'm saying? I know you might have been saving up to buy this really cool car, or maybe you've been trying to, anything that you may have just been able to get to the point of buying that costs a lot of money. The safe money is to not go ahead and get that. Wait till the market's doing a little bit better and go ahead and save the money that you saved up for this particular. Unless it's something that you need. You know what I mean? Like, if you don't have a car at all and you live somewhere where there isn't a mass transportation system and it's not, financially distracting you to not have a car, otherwise just kind of hold off on that purchase. You know what I'm saying? Your car you have, it'll do fine. Unless it's about to, unless you got a piece of shit that's about to break down. But then again, if that's the case, you fall into the first category of people I mentioned. Anyway, I'm rambling. All in all, so the basic thing is, don't make any big purchases that aren't necessary or aren't going to be financially beneficial themselves. Don't make any big luxury purchases. I wouldn't install any fucking pools right now. I wouldn't, go be fucking building a fucking goddamn skate park in your backyard. I don't know what fucking cost a lot of money. I ain't never had a lot of money, but I know this ain't the time to be spending money frivolously. That's the basic point of what I'm saying. Don't spend money frivolously, because in the state of the economy, you don't know if you're going to have the same opportunities that you might have had last year to bounce back from such a frivolous expenditure. So be very, very careful with that. And what was the last thing? I'm so fucking unprofessional sometimes. I should have wrote this shit down, but in all honesty, I think I didn't, because I already knew, like, you know, always, like I said, here's the other thing. Damn, I did write it down, didn't I? Or else I couldn't be looking at it like this right now. But, the other thing I was talking, interest rates. Right about now, I know you guys are probably thinking interest rates are sky high because people are afraid that taking a risk on giving you money, they're going to charge you more to try to do it. Well, actually, interest rates are kind of low right now, because you guys got to remember, the banks make a lot of money by lending you money, right? So if they don't lend anyone money, it's kind of like how you forget sometimes that your teacher, like when you're a student, your teacher is basically graded and paid off of the idea of how well you guys are going to perform. So a lot of people don't realize that your performance is just as important for them as it is for you. And the same thing is true with the banks. They're definitely looking to loan money out right now because they need people to owe them money, because that's the only way they can have any like equity of their own as a business. So those are the handful of tips that we had in today's Nerd Money section. We're gonna slide right on over to the Nerd News update, but first tell you guys about a couple of our sponsors. First up out the gate, of course, is Project South, a community outreach program we've recently linked up here at Urban Nerd Weekly. And you know, with, I guess I would say the world is opening back up, but then, you know, fucking you go outside and shit's on fucking fire all the time now. So who the fuck knows when the fuck we'll be able to do this. However, I said fuck too many times. I try not to say too many curse words when we talk about the sponsors. However, you know, the world is just such a crazy place right now, guys. I don't even know where my head's at right now. All I do know is that Project South is a movement building organization founded in 1986 to strengthen community organization, develop accessible political education, and build people-centered infrastructure in the United States South. It's based here in the hometown of Atlanta, Georgia. It cultivates productive space for social movement leaders, organizations, and collaborations to build people power from the bottom up. Our work is informed by historical legacy and root cause analysis of our social and economic conditions. Project South recognizes the powerful role of media and communications in educating and activating our communities to work for racial, economic, and social justice, and remains committed to developing movement-driven communications infrastructure in the region. So big shouts out to Project South. Big shouts out to Emery Wright. He's our point man, one of the program directors over at Project South. I definitely want to give him huge shouts outs. We haven't made the shout outs yet, but just in case I forgot Emery's name on the shout outs, I want to go ahead and shout him out right now. He is our contact at Project South, as well as how we hooked up with the Black Belt Radio Network, which you guys will also hear about in the shout outs. So we love everybody over there, and shouts out to Nano Kitty Cat for putting that whole deal together. You know, been going hard for the team this year, you guys don't see it, but Nano Kitty Cat's really been going hard in the paint behind the scenes. So trust me, she does it all for us and you guys, so we can all fucking tune in and nerd out every fucking week. Another one of our sponsors is Marketing the Pie Studios, aka MTP Studios. They are a marketing and management firm. And you need someone to help you market or manage a product or create some content for a product if you don't create content. Or let's say you do create content, you need somebody to get your word out there. And because I mean, think about it, man. It's really hard to create content and market it all the time. Trust me. I've been on the internet, on these digital streets, since I was 18, which is almost 10 years ago. So I'm trying to tell you, it is almost impossible to constantly, like, okay, let's look at it from a business standpoint. It is hard to constantly run your business as is. Then on top of that, create content for it and market both your business and the content with the hope that the content brings even more attention to your business. That's already a mouthful to say. And let's just say you only create content. It's incredibly hard. to constantly churn out content and market that shit on your own. It's a lot of jobs, people. So if y'all need help with that, make sure y'all hit up Marketing the Pod Studios. Y'all can hit them. Y'all can find them MTP Studios on Instagram at MTP Studios. All digital and management solutions that you need, they got what you need, man. Holla at them. Don't hesitate. Stop running yourself ragged. Call them up. Tell them what you need. I guarantee you, in a year's time, you will see a fucking undeniable. Oh, we got to keep fucking with them reasoning. You know what I mean? So shout out to MTV Studios. Shout out to our sponsor, Creative Customs. When it comes to custom clothing, shoes, apparel, name brand, non-name brand, plain, extravagant, bright colors, black and white, whatever you need, from socks, shoes, drawers, bras, and all. Holla at Creative Customs to customize it all, man. Y'all can get what y'all need. Y'all can also find them on Instagram at creative_customs, and customs is spelled with a K. Other sponsor, our very last but not least sponsor, y'all could check out Sweet K's Cakery, also on Instagram, and they are a creative custom made bakery. It's a mobile, so they pull up on you. Don't ever forget that, like, because I don't mention that a lot, but it's because I just kind of assume that people already know that. But nah, they pull up, they deliver, and they definitely are hiring to all hiring. I said hiring. They ain't hiring. They ain't got enough money to be hiring, but they got enough to be, taking your money for this shit they make. But yeah, so they do pull up, and when it comes to custom made desserts, they the plug, man. They got what you need when it comes to cakes, cupcakes, cake pops, pies, cookies, anything y'all need, man. Y'all can holler at them, and they do. It's especially where their specialty is batch orders and discounts. I mean, not discounts, but like they give discounts when you guys need multiple orders. So let's just say you got a friend with a baby shower coming up, and your baby got a birthday coming up, and your baby's daddy also has some kind of promotion at work or something you guys want to celebrate. You can get different dessert. You get cake for your friend's baby shower. You get cake pops for your son's birthday party, so all the little kids can run around with the cake pops instead of trying to worry about fussing and cutting cake and shit. And then your baby daddy just got a promotion, so you definitely want to get this nigga a pie or cookies or some shit to help him celebrate, because otherwise I don't see how he's gonna break your ass off any of that. But yeah, holla at Sweet K's Cakery, man. Like I said, they pull up and they will always have you satisfied. But right about now, we're gonna slide on over into today's nerd news update. And of course, first up, 13 Reasons Why. If you guys have not ever gotten a chance to check out this Netflix show, 13 Reasons Why. The first season was originally about a young lady that went to a high school and she made the unfortunate decision to take her own life. But before doing so, she recorded on tape the 13 reasons, aka the 13 people in her life that she encountered that inevitably led to her taking her own life. So it's a very tragic story. However, it's incredibly compelling. Like, I've watched the first season. Like, I watched the first season when it first came out, and then I did not know subsequently that there was a second and third season. So I never got to check them out. So what I'm about to do is, because season 4 is now airing, well, not airing, it's available for streaming on Netflix. Oh my God, I'm showing my age. In a couple of years, y'all gonna be like, I'm old as fuck, because I was around when fucking you had to turn the dial on the TV and shit. Some people don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about when I say turn the dial on the TV. The TV used to make a loud noise when you change the channels. It hasn't done that in a while, so you have no fucking idea what I'm talking about. But yeah, man, if you guys have not, I would suggest you hop on 13 Reasons Why. And who knows, maybe we could watch season 4 as a watch party or some shit. I don't know, with Urban Nerd. I don't know. The show is really good, so I'll be down to do whatever. But if you haven't, make sure you guys check it out. And if you have checked it out already, just know season 4 is on Netflix right now. And y'all go ahead and have at that shit. On to the next story in today's Nerd News Update. I'm sure that you guys have heard of Elon Musk by now. If you haven't heard of him before, that means you've only been watching our show for like a season, because this is like the first season where we didn't mention Elon Musk in like the first like 3 episodes. because he's pretty much been the shit in as far as, things go since around about the time that the show started. I mean, he was the shit before that, let's be real. But, his public persona's become a lot more prominent in the last 2 or 3 years as the show's been running along. And he's been, his company SpaceX has done some pretty cool shit with NASA as far as space exploration and as far as supplies and all that shit needed. You kind of feel like Elon Musk is that guy that wanted to, go in outer space as a kid, and then he ends up becoming a millionaire, and now he can basically be there, whenever he wants if he really wanted to. Which is awesome. It's fucking inspiration for nerds around the globe. And one cool ass thing that's going on now is he is behind the commissioning of NASA's new spacesuits. Now, one would be like, well, I mean, it's NASA. They probably got the suits thing under control, right? He doesn't have to. Wrong, bitches. Turns out, come to fucking find out, NASA's only got like 4 flight-ready suits left. Because here's the thing. It's not like you can use them on every mission, and then after a while, some suits, they become outdated before they ever get used because of new discoveries and understandings about how space works and air pressure and all that kind of shit as far as the materials, durability in outer space. All in all, you put in all the factors, they got 4 fucking suits left, which is really like one mission, right? Because, I mean, there's never more than 4 or 5 astronauts, right? So, one mission, that's 4 suits, and that's if they got motherfuckers that can fit them. So, Elon Musk, I guess, must have heard about this, decided to get SpaceX on the case, try to get some new suits, and there's been a recent launch in which I believe one of the suits were used, and now Urban Nerd Weekly has found out that the designer, Jose Fernandez, also was a costume designer that helped create suits for Marvel and DC films. So the guy, fucking Elon Musk and fucking SpaceX got the guy that did the costume designs on some of your favorite superhero movies, which, oh my god, fucking nerdgasm, bitch. According to ScreenRant.com in an article by Daniel Gillespie, costume designer Jose Fernandez, who has worked on a number of films, including some in the Marvel Cinematic Universe and the DC Extended Universe, was responsible for creating the spacesuits for the recent SpaceX launch. Fernandez has a long career in Hollywood, stretching all the way back to the 1990s. The costume designer has credits on Batman Returns, Batman Forever, Batman and Robin, and Men in Black. His recent credits include work on Thor, Ragnarok, and Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice. He has also worked on helmet designs for the electronic music duo Daft Punk. Holy shit, who is this dude? I want him to be my fucking clothing designer. SpaceX, of course, is run by the eccentric South African-born billionaire Elon Musk. Of course, y'all guys already know about him. We just talked about it. And he also runs Tesla, which is why he's the motherfucking shit. The company was recently in headlines for launching 2 astronauts into space for a mission to the International Space Station, which you guys heard us talk about maybe 3 or 4 episodes ago. It's the first time that NASA has commissioned a private company for a manned launch. One of the most noted, which, let's be real, people don't know that NASA isn't a government company. So it's really not that strange. It's just that y'all not used to the shit. However, they are a privately owned company, so it makes sense that they would do, a private company for a manned launch. Anyway, one of the most noticed aspects of the launch were the sleek and stylish spacesuits that astronauts wore, which look very different from the bulky suits we're used to seeing. Fernandez was responsible for those eye-catching suits, according to Forbes. Excuse me. In an interview with the website, the costume designer said that he was approached by Musk back in 2016, but didn't initially understand that the suits would be used for an actual space flight. He thought that the design he was submitting would be used for another film, not realizing that SpaceX was the name of a space flight company and not a new sci-fi film. Cool. Fernandez's contributions include the sleek and comfortable helmet, which was, according to him, designed to provide the astronaut with a great degree of movement, combined with the larger visor to improve visibility. He was also responsible for ensuring the seams on the suit were completely airtight, something that is obviously essential for someone traveling into space at a great speed. The overlap of Hollywood and space excuse me. I'm gonna reread that because I had like swallow spit. The overlap of Hollywood and spaceflight might seem odd to some, but it makes sense to in light of Musk's celebrity profile. The scientist and businessman is a fan of the limelight, having previously been married to British actress Tallulah Riley and currently in a relationship with musician Grimes, as well as making a cameo appearance in Iron Man 2 among other productions. He is also reportedly planning to launch Tom Cruise into space for a new movie, which, let's be frank, Elon Musk is the closest thing we got to fucking Iron Man. I mean, am I right? So for Musk to use a Hollywood costume designer for a real-world spacesuit doesn't seem that odd. See, I'm fucking telling y'all, it ain't that weird. As for Fernandez, it is unclear whether he will remain in the world of spacesuits or if he returns to film, given the success he's now had in both fields. He may be able to bridge the gap. He may be able to bridge both worlds together. So we'll be definitely looking out for that shit. And this is just really random. However, at the end of this blog article on ScreenRant.com, apparently there's some release dates to some DC films that I myself wasn't aware of. And I'm going to verify these dates in a little while after we record this episode. However, I'm going to just tell y'all, just in case I'm one of the first podcasts that's on nerd shit to get the scoop. Wonder Woman 1984 is coming out August 14th, 2020. It's almost like I'm about to give like a future digital download on that ass. Suicide Squad has another movie coming in 2021 on my birthday, August the 6th, 2021. The Batman, October 21st, 2021. Black Adam, December 22nd, 2021. DC Super Pets, May 20th, 2022. The Flash, June the 3rd, 2022, which is like 2 years from now. Shazam 2, November 4th, 2022. And allegedly Aquaman 2, December the 16th, 2022. So, we'll be seeing in the future if this website's accurate or not. Because, I mean, they are superhero movies, so it's likely as shit that they might end up in that whole, gotta change the release date type shit. You know what I mean? So, but big shouts out to Jose Fernandez, and I'm actually loving the new spacesuits. They look cool as shit, and I knew like a couple of days ago that SpaceX was behind him. However, I didn't know that the guy the actual pen for the design, you know, he was doing all these cool ass superhero movies and shit. And according to an article in the New York Times, it said Elon Musk's spacesuit is like a tuxedo for the Starship Enterprise, which I'm sorry, that is some classy motherfucking shit. But yeah, so big shouts out to SpaceX, NASA, and Jose Hernandez for all of that awesomeness right there. So next thing in today's I usually have words. I don't know what's going on with my brain. But next part of today's nerd news update, y'all remember the little black girl from Jessie on Disney Channel? Hey Jessie. Woo! Well, that little adorable little black girl is growing up into quite the precocious little teenager. She's actually been in a couple of other things that I've read. It has to do some shit with some rappers, but sometimes I'll be wondering if that's just publicists wanting to link a black girl to some nigger shit. Of course, she could be down with it. I mean, she seems like a good girl, so she probably do like thug niggas and shit. But anyway, ain't got nothing to do with what's going on today. Today, we talk about the fact that she was on Twitter yesterday dropping motherfucking biggity bombs on racists all around the social media. Like, she literally, I don't know if she got people to tell her about racist people at their school or how she got this, but she literally had names and what school they went to of like person after person after person. And she told their name, had their picture up, what school they went to, and all her fans went in on them on social media, man. It was a beautiful thing for the anti-racist movement. So big shouts out to Sky Jackson for exposing all the racists all over Twitter. She seems like she's gonna grow up to be a fine young woman. But yeah, so I think the last thing we was gonna talk about in today's nerd news update. In all honesty though, some of this stuff, like, it really does go with today's topic. So I'm going to just slide some of that over. We're going to talk about the LeBron James, Drew Brees, and the lady commentator shit. And we also got my guy, King Bach, He made, well, I can talk about this now because we about to lead right into the Rona Watch right there. But King Bach, if y'all never heard of him, he's a young African-American content creator, comedian online. He makes some funny shit. He got a lot of clout over the last couple of years, big, name as far as internet content creators goes. Well, he did a video where he had all the Black Lives Matter victims their names written all over him. However, the message behind it was missed because he got trolls for having misspellings of the names all over him in the fucking video. So we see where his heart is, and hopefully he did it on purpose to get a laugh while trying to administer some social medicine. However, King Bach got dragged for that shit. So I really hope that the overall message was received, and that is to remember these people's names, because in a way, I feel like maybe them dragging him was it working, because you couldn't have possibly known that the names are spelled wrong unless you knew what the names looked like when they were spelled right. You know what I mean? So big shouts out to King Bach. We're going to slide right on over in today's Rona Watch. And then after that, we're going to go do a couple of shout outs. And then after that, we're going to do today's topic. But right before that, we're going to go ahead and slide it, like I said, slide it to the Rona Watch, which isn't big today because it seems like all of the social injustice news is just starting to take over the whole people giving a fuck about dying of coronavirus thing. So first thing up on today's Rona Watch, 3 things on today's Rona Watch. One thing I wanted to kind of mention is, and I think I might have mentioned something about this a little bit on like part 3 of last week's episode, but I have noticed that, first off, worldwide countries are slowly beginning to reopen, following behind, places like Atlanta, like Georgia, we opened a couple days ago, and countries and cities, here and there starting to, try the whole opening up thing and seeing how it's going. But this kind of all happened right around the time that a lot of the civil unrest erupted over the George Floyd situation, and it's not just George Floyd's murder. It's that's the straw that broke the camel's back of just repeated police brutality and injustice amongst the victims, and it's just the latest, and it'll probably, and it's been one since then, and it'll be more coming soon. So let's get more into that in today's topic. But because of this civil unrest, people are out, right? Like, so in the time where we're worried about catching the coronavirus, people are out congregating in high population. Like, people are gathered together in protests in different places around the country, and you know what I'm saying. So what I'm worried about, and what I'm seeing as far as the zeitgeist, what you could tell from online, what you read and whatnot, I'm wondering if this is going to lead to a spike in COVID-19 cases, or is this going to be the thing that kind of makes people feel like the threat is diminished? Because, well, let's say 2 weeks from now, a whole bunch of people just get sick as shit, right? Like, are we going to still feel like protesting when we could tell that we out here? Like, I mean, they already shooting motherfuckers with rubber bullets and throwing tear gas and shit. I mean, they pretty much doing everything but hosing motherfuckers like in the civil rights era. And I'm pretty sure it ain't far from it. But okay, so what if 2 weeks from now, there isn't a spike in cases, and people aren't getting sick? Does that mean that this shit wasn't as much of a threat as we thought it was before in the first place? Because, I mean, I don't know about y'all. And then on top of that, okay, so what if a bunch of people do get sick? I'm one of those people that's going to sit back and be like, okay, so wait, was that planned? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm worried about it spreading faster. But what if it does? And then I'm sitting here like, okay, so what if that was planned? What if that was the, you know what I'm saying, they was doing that to incite people to get congregated and try to, you know what I'm saying, like on some population control type shit. Like, I sit in my room and I think about these things before I go to sleep at night. And I often wonder, like, just how all of this is going to play out, man. 2020 is an insane year. The coronavirus is just kind of like like in the boy band that is the disasters that have happened this year, coronavirus is just the front man. They're just, you know what I'm saying, they're the lead singer of the band, but damn it, there's some crazy shit going on in that music ensemble. But that's all for today's Rona Watch. Right before we get into today's topic, I wanted to give a couple shout outs to some of the friends of the show, myself personally. Shout out to Leisha over at MTP Studios, one of the show's sponsors. She's been a very big help since we linked up a couple years back. Big shouts out to her. Shouts out to the homie Derek Sales. He's a car salesman and also one of the hosts of the Up Buzz podcast, where you can go to find out more about learning to sell cars, as well as more information if you just want to be a car buyer. Shout out to my guy Cool Cutlass, man. He makes a lot of great music. Y'all make sure y'all check out Heartache PKB too. He got another tape and another tape and another tape coming, and an EP coming, and some more music. He got some more songs, more videos. Like, dude is always dropping music, so y'all gotta y'all gotta start, like, when y'all start following him, y'all gotta be ready to be catching all that shit, bro, because he's always dropping music. So big shouts out to Cool Cutlass, my homie down from Florida. Shout out to Hitman the Hitmaker, another friend of mine that makes some great music. Just came out with his mixtape to come up, and he's working on some new stuff. He's making his rounds. He's one of my buddies. He's dropped the tape right before the coronavirus thing shut the world down, and he was making his rounds, doing podcasts and stuff like that, and had a bunch of shows lined up. And then boom, this whole thing hit, cleared out all the shows he had lined up. He had a nice little press run plus shows lined up. I thought it was really good, organized for somebody that was on the indie level. So if you guys want to support, check out Hitman the Hitmaker on streaming platforms, as well as all the social media websites. Hitman DA Hitmaker. Shout out to Podcast City Network. We are now part of the fam over there. Big shouts out to my guy Chris over there, Chris Wilson. He runs shit over that way, and big shouts out to the whole team though, man. Like, it's crazy because we're now part of the network, so we like just trying to get integrated, and soon we begin to know everybody. So don't be surprised to see a good nice little influx of guests at the tail end of this season, and is leading into the next seasons, because we're gonna be connecting with a lot of cool people this year, man. That's one of the great things about this year. Big shouts out to Black Belt Radio Network. They are the radio network we are in cahoots with as far as our collaboration with Project South. So big shouts out to them and all the other shows that are part of that network as well. Shouts out to the homie Koy Z and the Vibe Time podcast. Make sure y'all check that out on Spotify, and follow the homie Weird Funny Mom on Instagram, man. She got hilarious posts like hourly. Some people be like, oh, I post daily. Nah, bro, hourly funny shit. Y'all gotta make sure y'all check that out. And of course, shout out to the entire Earthlings gang, all of you guys that listen to the show. Big shouts out to you, and of course all my team members, my folk, Mega, of course, the girl Nano Kitty Cat. Big shouts out to the homies Bobby Abercrombie as well as Greg Love, man. Huge pushers of the show, getting the word out. I really appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome as hell, man. Shouts out to the folk Django Fed. Man, I could honestly go on for a whole nother show about just all the people I could shout out. So try to chop it up, put it at the end of every episode. But big shouts out to all the supporters, man. Everybody that's been fucking with me, myself personally. I appreciate all the people that listen to the show and really be like into the topics that we talk about, and like tell us like what you guys would like to hear about. Like, we really do appreciate all of that. But right about now, we're going to get into today's topic. It's not going to be like forever long. It's really just kind of an intro to a segment that I mentioned earlier called Urban Nerd Tributes, in which we will be doing whole bonus episodes in tribute to some of the people, like as many victims of since the Black Lives Movement, I guess, the timeline of the Black Lives Movement around the time Trayvon Martin was tragically taken from us. And so from that point forward, it's kind of been like a pivot point. It's almost like a new civil rights movement is about to come to a head because of all of this shit. So me and the team thought it'd be a great idea to go ahead and give a tribute to some of these people. Everybody's saying their name, but I want to do a whole episode to tell these folks' story. The Breonna Taylors, the Ahmaud Arbery's, the Sandra Bland's, the Kendrick Johnsons. I had paused for a minute just because thinking about how many names to even include. I mean, like, oh my God, it's just I guess, you know, me being a kid from the 90s, you know, we grew up thinking that, you know, the whole civil rights movement was a part of the past. The whole being black thing, of course, affects us today, but it seems as though, you know, we haven't really honestly made the progress that I think and I believe a lot of other people felt that we would make at this point in history. I mean, it's 2020. Like we like a stone's throw away from like flying cars and all kind of futuristic ass shit. Like, we got fucking devices that we could talk and see each other with. You remember in the 90s, if you were around in the 90s, people thought about that shit as like some way in the distant future thing. But it wasn't that long ago. Like, it was in one generation's lifetime where we went from, it would be so cool if we could see the person we talking to on the phone, to boom, we can fucking see the person we talking to on the phone, to boom, now motherfuckers trying to find ways to work around the fact that motherfuckers can see them on the other side of the phone, because you can't bullshit people on video chat like you can on a regular phone call. And it's just crazy how that's just a regular part of society. Yet we're still somehow entangled in this bullshit, like, racial thing. I don't even understand. Like, I mean, between making sure you getting something to eat, making sure you got some money, and trying to fuck some, I honestly don't even see how people have. And then you got ambitions and shit. I don't even see how you have time to fit racism in your life. How do you run a business, raise kids, and still got time and energy to hate niggas and shit? Like, that's insane to me. But that is basically what, you know, Urban Nerd Tributes are going to be about. You know, we're going to be, and then of course with all of the updates from a lot of those names, we'll be giving a lot of updates that haven't been kind of connected to their story because of the amount of distance it had. Like, it's connected to their story, but people ain't. We'll give a very compressed timeline so that way it's easier to kind of see how things began and where we're at with them now. Like how the 3 men got charged for the Ahmaud Arbery case, and then the new news that done come out about how Travis McManus stood over his dead body and called him a fucking nigger. And you know what I'm saying, Breonna Taylor is a story I just kind of got brushed up on yesterday, in all honesty, because it's been so much going on. I didn't even have time to read and dive into her story, so her episode will be one that's almost fresh to me because I'm not as familiar with hers as I am with a lot of the other names. Then it's crazy because, you know, and it was one of the things I wanted to talk about in the Nerd News Update, but I figured because it was so relevant to the topic. Like, recently, Nickelodeon aired an I Can't Breathe commercial. It was an 8 minutes and 46 seconds of silence on the air, in which they just kind of showed words on the screen that like at one point they had like kids' rights up, and you know what I'm saying, at one point it was just flashing the words I can't breathe, because they wanted people to understand, like, you are important, understand, people, the shit that's going on in the world is so fucked up. Kids networks, children's networks felt the need to send these kids a positive message, because if they don't, like, clearly the rest of the media ain't giving a fuck about how this shit is affecting the younger generation. And Nickelodeon, out of all people, that's always been about the kids, for real. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I always had that theory, like, when you grew up in a rich hoity-toity neighborhood, your favorite channel was probably Disney Channel, because those kids are more relevant to you. You know what I'm saying? If you know what I'm saying, from like real nigga shit though, you always fuck with Nickelodeon because Nickelodeon was actually about kids. Like Disney Channel has always been adults making shit for kids. So that's why shit always looks kind of corny and shit. And Cartoon Network, it's not that they're not for kids, but they're for a generation. Cartoon Network is for 90s kids and 90s babies. It's like if you watch the progression of what is being produced and put out on Cartoon Network, it's always been about our generation. Like Disney Channel, whatever generation of kids it is, they're making shit for them. You know what I'm saying? Especially like the younger kids. But Nickelodeon, it's always made by... You know what I'm saying? The kids are actually involved in the production and have influence on what actually comes out on Nickelodeon. So it's always been, you know what I'm saying, about whatever the kids, like the kids of that generation want to be made for them. And Cartoon Network has always been, of course, about, you know, us. Like, people that are my age, if you're, like, between, like, 25 and 30 right now, 25 and 35 right now, Nickelodeon makes shit for you. They made shit for us when we were little kids. They made shit for us when we were teenagers. And they made shit for us as, like, Cartoon Network has grown with the generation that it started with. So, and that's the difference I've always seen in different kids' networks. But the fact that Nickelodeon... Like, that's how involved they are, like, how involved kids are with the production and what comes out there, because it's always been for, you know what I'm saying, kids. And even they understood, like, hey, you know, we gotta say something, because otherwise, you know what I'm saying, they're not gonna... Because clearly, like I said earlier, the rest of the media is not giving a fuck about how this information. Like, y'all don't understand. These kids watch the man die. Like, y'all tripping. And here's the thing. There are parents that's actually tripping about this shit. They mad because their kids saw that shit on TV and they're like, this is not the platform for this. It's absolutely the motherfucking platform for this. Like, the fact that y'all don't think y'all kids should see a message like that is crazy. Because if you think that your kids ain't know nothing about George Floyd before that commercial, you crazy. YouTube is real. Facebook is real. This social media shit, the younger generation is always gonna have the one up on the older generation because they literally got time to sit there on the internet all day. Like, they ain't got to the point where they gotta get up and be worried about their bills and responsibilities and shit. They getting up trying to find their favorite fucking music, the latest new music they ain't heard of, all the TV shows, all the movies they can find, all the shit, because all this shit is in their pocket. We had to get up and find your favorite channel and hope they played the shit you like. You know what I'm saying? Try to get a couple of channels going, and then video on demand came on and you like that shit, but it wasn't as on demand as it is now. So with these folks, these kids already knew about this George Floyd situation. To make no mistake, people, you could watch. That shit was. They talked about it on the news. It's everywhere. You're not gonna be able to hide this stuff from your kids because it's not like it was where you could just not know about this shit. Like, there ain't gonna be no more days like how we were the last generation that's gonna ever grow up and then one day be having conversations and being like, oh my god, I never realized this shit was going on when I was a kid. Like, nah, these kids know exactly what's going on now because they have access to information 24/7 while you sleeping. They ain't gotta get up early and fucking worry about, you know what I'm saying, making they hourly rate or making sure they get paid. They just waking up and living life. So for parents to be outraged as if they kids didn't need to see some shit like that is kind of insane to me. But, you know, that's just my perspective, of course. I mean, that's kind of given because it's my fucking show, so I'm gonna say what the fuck I feel like. But at the same time, it's just weird. So, you know, And that's not, like, that commercial isn't anything in comparison to watching a police officer take a man's life in broad daylight on camera. Like, you're not gonna be able to unsee shit like that. And the fact of the matter is, this generation definitely needs messages like the Nickelodeon I Can't Breathe commercial, because this shit is becoming so normal to them to see this shit. They're gonna be desensitized as the fuck when they get older if somebody doesn't intervene and be like, hey guys, I need y'all to understand, this shit y'all seeing ain't fucking normal. You should not be used to this shit. It is with great hope that we pray that your brain don't get so adapted to this bullshit that it don't even hurt anymore, because at that point it's really not gonna stop. That's how shit gets worse. Like, y'all creating a really militant generation. Like, this is how we end up in that police state. Y'all radicalizing a whole fucking generation right now. And either y'all don't know it, or y'all know that shit is, and it's the plan, or y'all know it and just don't give a fuck. Either way, y'all are radicalizing. When I say y'all, I mean y'all, the establishment. Those that be in power right now, whether we know who you are or not. Y'all radicalizing the whole generation right now. And then y'all, like, these bullshit ass curfews and shit right now, this is just tip of the iceberg. This whole controlling the population, that's what we, population control, my nigga. Like, y'all gonna have these kids at a point that by the time these 7-year-olds are 29 like me, everybody gonna be strapped and they gonna be ready to shoot the police as soon as they walk out the house, and because of that, the police are gonna be trained to shoot anybody that leaves the house, and that's how we're gonna end up on lockdown. And whoever the fucking president is by then will just go ahead and end up becoming a dictator. And yeah, that's how shit escalates. But you know, I'm just some paranoid nerd in a room with a microphone. So, you know, what do I know? But one thing I do know is that, you know, big shouts out to Keisha Lansbottom for getting out and marching with the protesters here in Atlanta. I don't know how many people covered that shit, but big shouts out to Keisha Lansbottom for doing that. If nobody, you know, reported that properly, or they didn't get the shine that it needed, shouts out to her for that. She is really a woman of the people. But that's all we got for today's episode, guys. I like I said, I appreciate you guys for tuning in and nerding out with us, man. Make sure you guys leave some comments. Let me know what you think about what's going on lately. I don't even want to ask a question of the week for this week. I want to just know what you guys are thinking. Like, what the fuck? Like, what do you think about what in the fuck is going on? But yeah, man. Like I said, thanks for tuning in. My name is Space. I was here, but now I'm